Hello, welcome to Restorative Yoga class. Today in Restorative Yoga, we're going to practice the art of slowing down. This is actually a really important theme for me in my personal life, and it's something that I really want to share with you because I think it's important to give yourself permission to slow down. In our culture, we spend so much time doing, and we feel this deep responsibility to continue to create and produce and cross things off our checklist. And this amount of pressure that we put on ourselves can create a lot of stress and anxiety. We forget that we need time to recharge our batteries and to rest. So I invite you to rest in this restorative practice and to consider the art of slowing down. Know that your body deserves attention. It deserves opening, releasing, and cleansing. It's not just a vehicle to take us from one place to another. So really take the time, let yourself come into your body. Take the time to set your body up with the props that you need or might need for your practice. And enjoy the stillness. Enjoy the sensations that you feel when you actually let yourself release and let go. So consider the art of slowing down. Also the practice of being just present with yourself. Resetting, recharging, refreshing. We're just going to take a few postures today, but we're going to hold each posture for a longer amount of time. In the style of restorative yoga, we need that time to let the muscles relax, to work with the fascia, the connective tissue. We're doing the opposite of doing, and we're simply practicing being. So let's enjoy this practice together. We'll start first in our seat, and we're just going to bring awareness to our breath, how we usually breathe, and how we can lengthen the breath so that we can actually calm our nervous system, reduce that stress, and let that anxiety go. So I'd like to just invite you to close your eyes and simply notice your natural breath. The way that you breathe without force or control. Noticing that if you're coming into this practice feeling frustrated, feeling any kind of way other than relaxed, know that that's okay. It's okay to experience these emotions. But make the connection that when you feel this way, when you feel out of balance, your breath becomes short. We're going to allow ourselves the experience of lengthening the breath. We'll practice by observing the inhalation, taking the air in through the nostrils to the top of the breath. Exhale, release the air slowly. Let's do that again. Inhale all the way to the top of the breath. Now as you exhale, open your mouth, take a sigh of relief. And again. Inhale fully. Exhale and release completely. Now you might want to take one hand to your heart center and one hand to your belly. As you take your next inhale breath, feel your torso expand with fresh, clean, new air. And as you exhale, release the air. Feel the torso soften. Continue to breathe. Continue to feel this awareness, this breath connection. Our breath in Sanskrit is called pranayama. And this means our life force energy. The breath happens naturally on its own, even when we're not thinking about it. The breath to me is so beautiful because it's a really profound example of how we're all the same. We all enter this life on an inhalation, and we all leave this life on an exhalation. We're all the same. Continue to inhale deeply. Continue to exhale fully. Keep your hands connected to your torso if you'd like, or release them down to your legs if you prefer. Allow yourself this time of settling in, of observing what's going on with us in this world right now. There's so much that we're experiencing, hearing, seeing, feeling, observing. Let yourself have this experience fully. Breathe through it. Feel your seat rooted down to the mat. Feel the crown of your head rising up. Let's take one more round of deep breath together. Inhale all the way to the top of the breath, all the way until you can't take in any more air. And when you're ready to let it go, open your mouth. Relax your hands. Now that we've taken time to connect with our breath, you might feel a little more comfortable coming into your practice now that we've made this transition. Know that because this is our restorative practice, we're going to invite props in. Our first posture is going to be a supported child's pose. Now, for those of you that are a little more flexible, you might not want the support of the bolster. You might want to simply come down onto the mat without anything at all, if that works for your body. So I'll start to show what that looks like. I'm going to offer you a few different variations of child's pose. With the knees open the width of the mat and the big toes together, we're focusing on opening the hips. This is a really good idea if you've got a lot of emotion that you want to release, because emotion tends to get stored in the hips. Now the arms are going to reach forward, hands come down, forehead meets the mat. If your forehead doesn't meet the mat, this is where you're going to position a bolster underneath you. If you feel that you rather get a release for your low back, then you'll bring your knees together, feet together. As you lower your forehead to the mat, you'll bring your arms down by your sides, releasing the shoulders and allowing space to create, to open in the low back. Now remember, if your forehead doesn't come down, that's totally fine. Don't worry. You're going to take a bolster, and if you don't have a bolster, you can use a pillow or maybe even a folded up blanket. In this variation, you're going to let space be between the knees. You're going to slide the short end of the bolster between your thighs. If your seat doesn't connect down to your heels, then you can take a blanket and position it there to fill that gap so that your hips aren't hovering in the air. We don't want the body to be unsupported. We want the body to be supported so that we can fully release and let go. Now, if you're working with the props, once you have them set up, and bring your hands out to either side, you'll walk your hands forward, position your belly and your chest on the bolster. If your forearms don't come all the way down, you can bring your blocks to support your forearms. And then you'll take your head to one side, resting on the bolster. Now I'm going to let you know when we're halfway through so that you can turn your head to the opposite direction. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, release the air. Sink in. As you take each inhale breath, you'll feel your belly pressing to the bolster if you're working with a prop. If not, you might feel your belly pressing to your thighs. This is a great way to work with your digestion, offering yourself a gentle abdominal massage, allowing anything stagnant to move along, creating space internally. If your arms are on the blocks and you feel that that's causing tension for the shoulders, then just relax the arms out, however feels good. If at any point your body is letting you know that it's just not comfortable, give yourself permission to modify. Now that we're coming to the halfway point for this posture, we'll simply lift our head, taking your time. And after you bring your head to center, go ahead and move your head opposite direction, bringing the opposite side of your head down onto the bolster or the mat, however you're set up. Exhale, soften. Remember that each exhalation is an opportunity of letting go, of surrender. We hold on to so much in our day. We hold on to emotions, thoughts, feelings. Practice letting these things go as you exhale. Know that all you need to do is experience this practice right now. Come back to breath awareness. Noticing each inhalation and each exhalation. Almost finished with this pose. On your next inhale, lift your head. Exhale, walk your hands towards your body. Lift your chest and your belly off of the bolster. Remove your blanket, if you've got one, underneath your legs. And then just bring your bolster out to the side. Setting up for the next pose, we're gonna need a bolster, we're gonna need 2 blocks, and some of you might want a strap. So go ahead and gather your items. If you do not have a strap, don't worry. You can use a belt or a scarf, or you can opt out of the strap option. To set up, we're gonna create a little ramp. So we're gonna take 1 block to the medium height at the top of the mat. And then we'll bring the second block to the lowest height right up against that first block. Now you could go higher up if you choose, rotating the blocks to the highest height and the mid height. That's something that you can play around with once you come into the pose if you decide that you need more. Now we're gonna take the bolster onto the blocks. I recommend bringing the bolster zipper side down so that you're not feeling the zipper on your back. And you want to think about taking the bolster, the middle of the bolster on top of the blocks rather than the top part, because you don't want to collapse down. So position that, it's going to be safer that way. And once you have your ramp set up, you're going to face away from the ramp. Now, our legs are going to be in Baddha Konasana. This means that we bring the soles of the feet together and the knees are splayed out. For me, it's comfortable to just leave my legs as they are. However, if your hips are tight, you're going to want to support your thighs by bringing blankets, pillows, or blocks underneath each thigh so that you can really let go. Now, the strap option is going to be if you want a deeper hip opener and you want to keep the legs, the feet closer to the body. You're going to feel a deeper stretch for the hips. You'll be getting external rotation, and you'll also feel a nice stretch for the inner thighs. So for that option, and that's all it is just an option, you don't have to take it, you'll open up your strap. Once the strap is open, you're going to take the strap behind you as if you're putting on a belt. And from here, you'll take one end of the strap to the outer edges of the feet. So you'll have to lift your feet to position the strap there. Now, if you can, you're gonna latch your belt or your strap, and then you're gonna pull it if you have this kind. If you don't, you can get it for $6 on Amazon. And you're just gonna continue to pull to the amount of tightness that you want. Notice that the more you pull, the more you're going to be able to support bringing your feet closer to your body. So set that up, and then bring your low back, your seat, all the way up to the short end of the bolster. Now from here, I like to hold onto the bolster and gently bring my back. Feel your entire spine and head connect down, and then open your arms out to the sides. So again, the arms can be elevated on blocks, blankets, pillows, or the arms can be resting down. Tuck your chin towards your chest so that you're lengthening the cervical spine. Now that you're laying back, notice the intensity that you feel at your hips. If you want support and a deeper stretch, maybe you pull that strap even tighter. If it's too tight, maybe you loosen it a bit. And once you're comfortable and supported, relax into the pose. If you catch your mind wandering, just bring it back to stillness. The mind is very active, and that's okay. Just whenever you become aware of the activity, see if you can come back to this present moment of the shape that you're in, the breath, the ability to lengthen the breath, props that are supporting you, and the safe space that you have to practice in. each round of breath. Continue to soften and surrender. We've got several minutes to go. There's nothing that we need to do right now other than be in our own bodies. Having this experience of opening, releasing, being. Continuing to serve ourselves and to practice self-care. If at any point you feel discomfort in your knees, you can widen the angle at the knees by sending the feet further away. Even if that means loosening your strap or releasing the strap completely, just continue to honor your body. Modify any time that your body is talking to you, any time your body needs to shift. Listen. Listen and honor. We've got about 30 seconds left. Enjoy a few more rounds of breath in this shape. If your palms are facing up, go ahead and rotate them down. And when you're ready, use your energy to lift your head, shoulders, and back slowly, little by little. Press your palms to the mat to assist you. Find a straight spine to come out. This is one of the most favorite postures of restorative yoga. We were in it for 8 minutes. Sometimes we like to take it to 11 minutes. Anywhere between 8 to 11 minutes is really beneficial in this pose. If you were working with your strap, you can go ahead and release it. Just set it out to the side. Coming into our next pose, we're going to release the ramp. Remove the blocks. Just set them aside for now. We're going to come into a supported forward fold. Now, the way that you support yourself in this forward fold could mean different things for different people. So some people are really going to like the bolster. This is how I'm going to start to do it. If this feels too high up, then you're going to take a blanket that's rolled up and position it underneath your knees. We're focusing on stretching the entire back, so we're going to support the legs so that the legs are completely passive and not doing any work at all. So now we'll turn to face the bolster. We'll bring the back of the knees directly onto the bolster. So scoot up as much as you need to. If your blocks are in your way, you can bring them out to the side. So the feet are just relaxing. We're not pointing, we're not flexing, we're not activating at all. We're just letting the feet be. Make sure that you can feel the bolster underneath the knees. Now, you can leave a wide distance between the knees so that you can bring your arms between your legs, or you can bring your arms outside of your legs, resting on the bolster. I recommend trying both and just seeing which one feels best in your body. So to come into the pose, when you're ready, we'll take an inhale breath. Reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, fold forward. Bring your belly and your chest towards your legs. And as you fold forward and feel your torso melting onto your legs, give yourself permission to release your head and your neck. Some of you might even feel your forehead tapping the bolster. Let the arms relax. Now that you're feeling into this shape, if you notice that you're not feeling very much of a stretch at all at your back, then you're gonna need a lower prop. If you're feeling it, stay here. If not, you're gonna slide the bolster out from underneath the legs. A lower prop would be the block at the lowest height, one block underneath each knee. Or maybe it's a different prop, like a rolled up blanket. And then again, coming in, inhale, lift the crown of the head up, and exhale, fold. Give yourself time. With the lower prop, there's more space to fold. Come into each posture slowly with time. There's no rush in this practice. Remember to relax the head and the neck. Remember to just be here now, in your body, in your practice. With your next exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper. Close your eyes. Notice where you feel sensation in your physical body. Notice if there's one part of the back where you're feeling more. A deeper stretch. And as you stretch, feel the tension lift and release. Resist the urge to hold your head up. That's just going to compress the back of your neck. Let it go. Surrender. Check in with yourself. Notice how much you've been able to open up in this time. Continue to let go with each exhale. Know that we're coming into our last minute. For the last minute, see about coming into your fullest expression, folding as deeply as possible, but not to the point of major discomfort. Continue to release with each exhalation. On your next inhale, slowly lift your head. Slowly, slowly take your time to find a straight spine. And then pause here. Allow the spine time to find this axial extension. The hips rooting down, the crown of the head rising up. We can move the props now from underneath the knees. And bring the feet to one side, and we'll invite the bolster back onto our mat, bringing the short end of the bolster up to your hip. Now, as you do this, your hip is coming all the way up to the short end of the bolster. So rather than looking towards the bolster, we're starting looking forward. Now, when you look at your legs, you can position your top ankle to rest on the arch of your bottom foot. We're coming into a supported spinal twist. To come into it, we'll take our hands towards the bolster and then take the hands to either side of the bolster. Now, you're already in a twist. We're gonna go deeper by taking the belly and the chest to lay onto the bolster. Try to avoid laying your side body. Fully rotate and then lower your belly and your chest down. Now, as you lower down, let your arms rest. If you want to deepen the spiraling of the spine even more, you can face away from your feet. If that's too much for your neck, then you can face the same direction as your feet. Upper body relaxes. Lower body relaxes. Just breathe. Find your breath. Lengthen your breath as much as possible. Continue to calm your own nervous system, allowing yourself to down-regulate. With each exhale, let your worries go. Send them away. They have no space right here, right now. It's almost time to come out. To come out, bring your hands under your shoulders and gently lift as you inhale. Peeling your chest and your belly off the bolster, walk your hands towards your body. And simply face away from the bolster, lift your knees. Rotate to the other direction. Bring your opposite hip up against the short end of the bolster. Position your top ankle to rest on the arch of your bottom foot. Rotate your torso, taking your hands to either side of the bolster. Maybe you stay here for a breath or two. And when you're ready, walk the hands forward. Position your belly and your chest on the bolster. Remember to turn your head away from your legs for a deeper spiraling. Or turn your head to face towards the same direction as your knees for less intensity. Your neck will let you know what it needs. We've got about 30 seconds left. Know that as we come out, we're going to come out slowly with intention, taking care of our bodies. You can start by bringing your hands under your shoulders. And on your next inhale breath, gently lift your head, lift your chest, lift your belly. Coming back up to a straight spine. We're now going to come into legs up the wall for a gentle inversion. As we come into our legs up the wall, we just need enough space for our legs to be together. If you don't have enough space at your wall, you might find a door that you can position your legs on. So I'm going to show you legs up the wall, and I'm going to show you the variation that you can do for gentle extension for your spine. So I'll be showing you that by positioning blocks underneath my upper back. You also have the choice to place a bolster underneath your upper back if you want deeper extension, so more of a back bend. You could use a blanket instead if you want to, or you could simply have a flat back if you want a neutral spine. So the version that I'm going to show you with the blocks, I'm going to position the short end of the blocks together. And I'm going to position the blocks underneath my bra strap or underneath the shoulder blades. So think upper back. You don't want the blocks on your neck. You're going to want to bring your hips all the way up to the wall. So I like to bring the side of my body to the wall and then rotate and shimmy the hips all the way. And then bring the blocks to set up under the shoulders. Now it might take a minute to find that space. You can bring the legs together. As you start to settle in, notice if the blocks are too high up. Might take a minute to get adjusted. So with the lift of the blocks, you're getting a nice heart opener, and with the arms out to the sides, you're able to also get gentle opening for the shoulders. Now as we set ourselves up, we can start to get a little stretch in the feet, ankles, and calves by pointing the toes on an inhale breath, and then flexing the feet on an exhale breath. So we'll inhale, point, exhale, flex. One more round. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Now soften the feet. Let the feet just be neutral. Let the feet relax. Remember, if you're using props and the lift doesn't feel great, you can always remove the props, coming onto your flat back. Settle into your breath. If at any point you feel that your head needs support, you can slide another prop, maybe a blanket underneath your head. And please remember, this practice is all about feeling comfortable and supported. If your back is lifted and supported, you're welcome to move your props at any point that you're ready. You're welcome to stay with the props if that feels really good in your body. We're halfway through this pose. Continue to check in with yourself. Continue to modify as needed. This is your body. Support it as best you can. We're approaching our last minute. At this point, I've removed my props and come onto a flat back because that feels good for my body at this point. I've also brought my arms in to rest onto my belly, to come back to my breath connection. Find where your body needs to be as we come to the end of this pose. If you feel any numbness or tingling in your legs, you can bend your knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the wall. Feeling the low back pressing down. Feeling the entire spine, shoulders, and head connected if you're working without the props. Take one more round of breath. Exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Slowly rotate onto one side. And then press up. Bring yourself back onto your mat if you've shifted. We've come into our Shavasana time. Shavasana is our relaxation pose. This is the posture that we're going to spend the most amount of time in. To set yourself up, think about what feels good for your body. For those of us that have trouble with the low back, it feels really nice to have the knees elevated. This is where a bolster or a pillow can support the back of the knees, just like we did before in our seated forward fold. Coming back, resting down. Or maybe you extend the legs. Find your star shape. Maybe take some rotations with your ankles and wrists. And then in the opposite direction, just providing fluidity and mobility. Maybe your setup is different. Knowing that we're going to have an extended amount of time here, you might want a blanket to put on top of you. This way, when you feel the temperature lower because we're not moving, you can feel supported and nurtured. If you don't have a blanket, maybe you have a layer, maybe you're comfortable as you are. Settle in. Close your eyes. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Breathe. Practice the art of slowing down. The most important place that you can be is in your body, right here, right now. Deepen the breath. Settle in. Relax. Feel the props that are supporting you. Enjoy this time of deep relaxation. This time of letting go. This time of fully slowing down. thoughts arise that aren't serving you, practice sending them away just as easily as they come in. Give yourself permission to observe them. And as you exhale, watch them float away from your being. Practice this by placing them in a bubble. And with your eyes closed, visualize that bubble, that worry, that thought, that feeling, that emotion leave your being. There's no space for it now. Now we rest. We breathe. We be. We slow down. Deepen the breath. Enjoy the experience of this pranayama, this life force energy coming in and out of your body. With each inhalation, inviting in fresh, clean, new air. And with each exhalation, releasing stale, stagnant energy. Continue to have the experience of the breath. As you breathe in deeply, bring awareness to your physical body. As you bring awareness to your physical body, invite the movement back in. Notice how it feels to move, to awaken the body after allowing the body to rest. Notice how good it feels to have this relationship with your body. This time, the art of slowing down. And as you bring in acceptance for slowing down, you're giving to yourself. You're giving yourself the gift of presence and relaxation. Know that you're so deserving of this gift. Come back to this class anytime you need to. Anytime you need peace, relaxation, reflection, slowing down. Stay as you are, resting in a reclined position, or rotate to find yourself back to a comfortable seat, taking all the time you need. There is no rush. As you move through the rest of your days, weeks, months, know that this class is always available for you. Whenever you notice that you're moving too fast, that life is throwing too much at you, if you're overwhelmed, frustrated, feeling out of balance, come back to yourself. Slow down. It's okay to take time for you. Our bodies, our spirits need this. If you enjoyed this class, please subscribe to my channel. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to be here guiding you through this beautiful practice. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and attention. The light in me sees, honors, and recognizes the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. Peace, peace, peace to each of you. Send this peace out, send this love out. Hold space for each other. Be present. Continue to love. Thank you. Until next time.